Alright, we're back in the Red Hot Racing Circuits. This guy would have just walked in from out of nowhere. I don't even know what he does. I don't think he does anything. I don't really know if the other, like, models in this room are based off anyone. Like, I don't know if that's an actual McLaren engineer or not sitting there. I know that's actually supposed to be Lando Norris over there. And I know the, the team boss, like the team principal. Like the guy that shook his fist and shook the hands with the other guys in the pit box. That's Toto Wolff. That was the actual Mercedes engineer, or supposed to be. They aren't very good at designing these avatars, but as you can see, I've already simulated, not skipped, the practice sessions because I'm plenty familiar with Bahrain. So gain like 400 resource points from that. Can't do anything with that, so just do qualifying. This episode would be a bit shorter, I guess, because I don't have anything to explain. It's just driving.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us, and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly.
Ah yes, I don't like these soft tires. I'm going to go to this exactly identical set of soft tires. It literally does not make a difference. Did not turn that off, but I don't think I have to. Ugh.
We'll make the changes you requested.
I mean, I certainly hope you are, because if you're telling me that now, it's a little late. That's a bit of extra fuel, I would say. Broke a touch earlier there. This Nittery sets the example lap. And there goes the only, I would say the really only difficult corner on this track. Turn 10. You must trail brake downhill, and neither of those things are easy on their own, so doing both at once, yeah, it can demolish you. I think missing turn 10 is just about a rite of passage for any Formula, or really Formula anything driver, not just Formula 1, but Formula 2 and 3 as well. About 8, 9 tenths off of Nittery, but I imagine when Tyler or Kadim come around to set up their lap, that might be a little faster and I'll be further off. No? Oh. Interesting. Like, so to see what Hamilton does, or what Kadim does?
So far is a 1:30:30.0.
So I assume he's on the track somewhere. Yeah, he's just exiting the last turn. Man, that's fast. But Nittery is just on it. It seems weird. Nittery wouldn't take me somebody who'd do well in the desert. And then we'll go to like 3-ish minutes left in the session and run the second lap. No one else reset anything faster. Oh, a little further. Yeah, that should be about it. I didn't change my tires again. I even made all the little jokes about it and all that, and just... Yeah, this is definitely a big deal. I really don't want to do that, so I'm going to just end qualifying. I can't imagine I'll be doing too terribly. Dramatic effect, your funny game.
And with qualifying complete,
It remains 7th, I'm fine with that, especially considering where Kurt Wild has ended up in 15th.
Wraps up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Okay, Nittery. And not looking too great for Amy. The lowest of the top of the grid cars, and also you? Shadow, where'd you find that? Okay, actually, Poss in general, where'd you find that? I noticed they were both basically stuck to each other. But so I'm best of the rest, which is just the term applied to the highest qualifying driver that's not a Mercedes, Red Bull, or Ferrari. And then we just wait, 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 wait. The metro area of Minnesota has crosswalks that just say that. Little tiny bonuses. Well, actually, that's a big bonus because I'm outperforming the car. Haas racing point. Haas. Haas. Am I a donkey now?
Right. I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
At the field, and I'll buy you a pizza. Dude, to drive the wheels off. Let me tell you why that's not a good idea. Also, yeah, the weather is clear. Well, we're in the desert. I would really hope so. I've heard it can rain at the less than aquatic biomes, aquatic climates of the F1 calendar in this game, but I've never seen it here.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks
like these
for
colors.
today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Leclerc, Falcon, Magnussen, Grosjean, and Sergio Perez.
I just wanted to see if anybody ahead of me had a grid penalty. So that can happen. They can get grid penalties if they...
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Now they're just piling in all of the fuel. I don't think I need that much. Alright, here we go. No, immediately Suwako gets over to try and pass Reimu. No. Well, I guess it's time to show off this. As, Tyler just panicked, I think. Something. Totally fair. Okay, Shadow literally forced this 4 wide there. I'm not a fan. Well, let's get a good look at that, because that's a little bit much. Where is it? There it is. So yeah, don't do this. Shadow is looking more like chaos, out of control right now. Moment, I am ahead of both Red Bulls, but god, the car did not want to rotate through those 2 turns. I think I need to get this feel out of my vehicle. Been in this kind of position before with Suwako right at my diffuser. The key thing to just remember is the fact that the Red Bull doesn't actually have an advantage in a straight line. And there are 4 pretty decently long straightaways on this track, so the Red Bull is, compared to Australia, kind of at odds with me here. So keeping Suwako and Tyler behind me should be a little easier. Wasn't exactly mission impossible before, mind you, but now, you know, it's like an actually accomplishable task rather than somebody is already out.
VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here.
It's a racing
Slow down,
point.
Maintain a positive delta. Some information on Strong. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
That is, Oh, I'm so not used to this replay system. Camera! There we go. What? I'm never used to doing any kind of safety car stuff in this game just because they don't always function in this game, so it's just kind of like, this is pretty much a learning experience for me.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace.
It's supposed to be like 40% normal speed.
Going green.
It feels more like
Maintain
20,
delta
like
until
reduced by
green
40,
flags.
but it feels more at 40.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green.
I just got absolutely yeeted and deleted by that. Because combine the fact that I'm not used to it with the fact that Suwako and Tyler can't screw it up. And yeah, here is the end result of that. I'm afraid it's not going to be that easy, Suwako. Except now they have the advantage of DRS on me, and that's pretty much the gap closer for any 2 cars. Doesn't matter if I'm trying to pass a Mercedes, I could still almost keep up with it or catch up to it with DRS. It depends on...
Tass is up in first place.
Hey, Knitter is winning. Now can you stop cutting me off for a moment, Jeff? I am trying to commentate. And we'll have it here again. They're nowhere near a place to capitalize. So there's currently, I think they were both mechanical failures. Yep. I'm not quite sure when this happened, but Suwako has a penalty for hitting me. Oh, lap 1. Oh, I know what happened. That's actually kind of nonsense, but it didn't really matter. Nidori and Kadim touched. Sonic and Cam collided, and maybe that had something to do with contributing to Cam's an eventual mechanical failure the next lap. But I think Suwako might have gotten penalized for running into me, even though she was actually pushed into me by Shadow. Exchange the fastest laps.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
This is news to you, Jeff. Where have you been? I was only behind her there, so beep. Ah. I am perfectly aware that both of them are absolutely faster than me, but it's not going to stop me from just keeping them behind me if I can. Because I'm not just obliged to move out of their way. This isn't WEC. Actually starting to make a tiny bit of space between me and the Red Bull cars. Fortunately, it's all going to go away just through here. Especially if I do that on a curb. See here. Doesn't appear as though anyone's following me. No, I don't see any pit crews out.
Complete. Go now.
Just kind of having a repeat of Australia. I will get plenty of clean air.
Numbers are
And while I'm getting that, Sirocco and Tyler will be fighting for my spot. They haven't been fighting very hard, mind you. I think they've actually somehow managed to communicate with each other that they wouldn't be able to ever get around me if they tried to pass each other. And therefore just kind of didn't do that, obviously. Disconnect corner exit there. Hesitant corner exit. If I can complete a sentence, maybe. You could be seeing, yeah, cars are going in. I think I might see Amy currently in there for Ferrari. I don't really have to necessarily. I see a Haas car. Only 2 guys going in though. I figured there'd be more. The Thrasher is attempting my strategy. The thing is with the Ferrari, if it is, whichever one it is, they've put themselves, it is Remo, they've put themselves in a lot of traffic that I'm not in. I'm having to deal with the Williams and foreseeably even Kurt Wilde in this moment. Depending on how fast Remo can get around that Williams up there. I think I'm finally sort of starting to get the idea of that section down. Apparently not that one, as I just about missed. The fortunate thing is I'm going to also have to work to get around this Williams because they started on mediums and may not be going in anytime shortly. In goes Kurt Wilde. Apparently Amy did not have the greatest in-lap or something, as I am now right on her rear wing. I didn't get DRS for whatever reason though, so that's kind of awkward, yet I still didn't really lose much on her down that straight. I guess slipstream is the causation. Maybe I can use the Williams as something of a pick here on him, or on her. Opportunity is showing itself in a second. If I don't miss this corner, I haven't. Bearing in mind, well, Tyler's not that close. Yeah, Ferrari ain't gonna do.
The car ahead is coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead, they're running medium tires.
Also, that curb is deadly. Do not ever touch that if you can avoid it. Well, I think this bubble's almost defended enough for me. Because really all of my ERS pumped into trying to make this overtake. I have made it.
Okay, some information on Bottas. They have an issue
Oh
with their
dear.
car. They're going to be slow.
It's possibly the worst ever timing for that. I bet maybe they ran into that Toro Rosso up there that they're trying to pass. They would say that if Nidori picked up like wing damage from hitting them. Because yeah, yeah, that's not normally where Monica's supposed to be right now, but no penalty or warning, so they must not have hit each other, or if they did, the game didn't feel cause to say anything about it. I actually have a bit of distance, so I may not have to exhaust a ton here. Here, keyword. Because we are about to hit 5 to go. And yes, now finally Monica
Up to the car in front is 2.2
hits.
seconds. We're leading our teammate by 17.1 seconds.
Now, Amy locked up, but I was distracted by Jeff and kind of wasn't preparing myself for that. It's funny as I can almost run Rich from here to the finish line. Oh yeah, Nidori must have immense damage. Immense damage, or just like whatever the problem is, must be
5 laps of fuel remaining.
near terminal. Cut me off one more time, Jeff, and I swear. You are not the only person here that can speak. Yeah, I'm catching Nidori, so that's, I guess some of her America's Tour luck is rubbing off here. She can finally win a race, and then her car is just like, you know what, I don't think I will. And now I'm getting DRS on her. Meanwhile, Remu versus Kadim for the win up there. And the last thing I need is to let them use you as a pick-on. So if you could just not do that, and goodbye.
Okay, good work. Great pass.
I need stopping. Now, hopefully she'll actually be in their way. And use some sort of defense. Yes, precisely. Good lord. Amy still did get it done, but Tyler didn't get anywhere. That's what I said, don't touch that! And that's why you don't drive looking behind you. Yeah, basically that curb does not discriminate. It doesn't matter what car you're in. It could be a McLaren, a Mercedes, a Ferrari. It could be a 1976 McLaren for all that curb cares. You're still going to die if you hit it. I could not go full Rich from here to the finish. I'm like 0.15 of a lap short of it. Speaking of short, that's about how I broke just there. But early is almost always better off than late. Yeah, well, isn't it glorious? There's also 3 laps of racing remaining. These 2 are still dead, almost dead even. I think Kadeem is pointing out an advantage, though. Yeah, unfortunately, Tyler can't do much to go around Amy himself, because the Red Bull just doesn't really have the top speed to go around a Ferrari, even with the DRS that he must be getting right now. On the map, you would see that, they're like right on top of each other, but Tyler just doesn't have the juice to actually go for anything. Now I actually waited too long to put it back in route for the end of the race, so yeah, I can go from here. Usually around most tracks we use like a third of a lap of extra fuel per lap, and you'll generally conserve a quarter of a lap of extra fuel if you spend the whole thing in lean and drive normally. Looks like Tyler is actually going to finally get that move finished. Yeah, funny, there's only 1 lap of race remaining, Jeff. How did Amy get back around? What? What kind of sorcery did I miss there? Of course I'm not going to see it, because I went too late on that. I didn't notice in time.
Engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2.
Jeff, there is 1 corner remaining. If you don't get off my behind about that. Weird flex, but okay, Kadeem.
Great work. Well done. We're really happy with the podium here.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves?
Yeah, that's supposed to be Total Wolf shaking their hands, but...
The main contributing factor out on the track was today, speed.
Speed!
I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium.
The thing though is that Total Wolf just straight up looks like a Bond villain.
Today, Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today.
I just love how apathetic the drivers look on this podium. Vettel looked absolutely done with the Hamilton Avatar's nonsense.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to Falcon. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely
Yeah, that's because Kurt Wilde finished nowhere.
I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, Monica, where'd that get you? Yes, I'm 4th in points. That really shouldn't be the case. Dun.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
See, the kind of thing about this too is it pretty much, like, you would answer this in a realistic way of saying, like, you'd want to praise the thing that's actually good, which is the aero. But the way that the press system works in this game means that you're actually encouraged to say the thing that isn't true. If I say the power advantage really came in handy, no, that's totally not the case. We have the weakest engine on the grid, basically. But saying that will help the engine get better because then I can upgrade it easier. If I say this, I'm not even doing anything to the aero department right now, so it really wouldn't get me anywhere.
Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Appreciate your time.
I'm glad they didn't give me the you left a bit of paint on the track today from the whole lap 1 collision where me, the Red Bulls, and Shadow went 4 wide. Because why not? Points. Also, I'll gain like X amount of resource points too when that rivalry is concluded, and I win it anyway. And big team goals bonus as well. I did that twice. And McLaren are absolutely head over heels for me right now.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season.
Just don't want to go to your head. Yeah, okay, Carl. Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to this track though. I'm going to be dead honest. Bahrain is probably one of my top 5 tracks as far as raw ability. China's bottom 3. It may even be my worst track in the game. It's certainly my worst track record from league racing, having DNF'd here 3 times, which is really impressive considering the walls are pretty far away from the track. It's me to finish 6th again. Hey, both of them happened this time, mainly because they literally could not screw up again. That'll be fun. So in other words, I just need to remember to do 2 laps very quickly. Or just do the one good one at the end of when I think it'll happen. But I'm not good at timing that, so I'm just not going to try that. But yeah, so that is it for this part of the Red Hot Racing Circuit. Next will be, obviously, China. And it's not like we're just going to teleport to Japan or something. It wouldn't be very far to teleport, but whatever. I don't know. Outros are difficult. It's like descriptions. The descriptions will get lazier and lazier as this series goes on, believe me.